Hey everybody, this is Andre Rucker here, and welcome to the Rucker Reserve. So today is just going to be a little bit of a market recap. Today is April 8th, little midweek recap for everyone. Try to wrap their head around everything that's going on. I know everything's going on, such as like the pandemic, presidencies, and things of that sort. So let's jump into it. So let's start off with some of the indices today. The Dow rose about 776 points today, up about 3%. The market's been doing actually very well since the beginning of the week. We're in a little bit of a bull run so far this week. Hopefully it continues going. I know a lot of people out there are a little bit speculators on how the market's actually going to perform the rest of the week and the weeks to come, just judging by the pandemic. I myself am a little nervous, but you know, it comes with having money in the market and putting trust in hopefully renowned companies. The S&P rose about 3.4% today, looking pretty well. Top 500 companies are a little above average today. Not much to say there. Now a little bit on what is driving these market increases. One, a lot of speculation is that the pandemic that's current on is leveling out, and honestly in some places of the world it's decreasing. I know Wuhan opened up their city, I believe over the weekend, or maybe it was on Monday. I'm not totally sure, but I know they opened back up, so that's showing, and that's like where the pandemic started. So that is a great increase, and that's a great increase in positivity for the rest of the world. It's also looking that the plans put in place by our U.S. government has been effective, and investors were looking at this as a positive note, and that was also another really good economic driver for us. Also, the Democratic nominee Bernie Sanders dropped out of the presidential race today. That was also another driver that's leaving now Joe Biden as to be the Democratic nominee. This was just another thing that drove the markets a little upward today. Today was a little less volatile day than yesterday, but all is well, still positive. Now I'd like to talk about some of the companies that are being highly affected in the market that we have today. With everything going on, there's been no business travel, businesses closed, just a whole lot of negative things going on towards small businesses and even big businesses such as like travel businesses, airlines, cruise lines, hotel industries. All those are being hit excessively hard. And I just want to take a little time today to talk about those companies and talk about like investing in those companies. I'm not an investment professional. This is not financial advice I'm giving you. This is just my general opinion. Now, in my first video that I actually posted, I was talking about I have the more Warren Buffett mentality when it comes to investing, and just investing in companies that have actual growth potential and filling a niche and just being able to all around be a good company for basically infinity. And so coming to that conclusion, there is one thing that I don't believe that Warren Buffett does that I don't believe in, and he invests heavily in airline companies. Now airline companies do fall in that like transportation, more on the side of transportation for like travel, and not necessarily just business, but you know, airline companies are a highly cyclical business, and so with that comes, you know, there's times of peak and times of trough. So with that being said, you know, it's already a kind of a risky investment to begin with, but now with everything going on and no one traveling and everyone being staying at home, they're getting hit extremely hard. To just give an example of an airline company, American Airlines, they were not doing previously before this, were not doing well. I believe when their fourth quarter came out, they were already about 50% down. They were already going, so their company was already not doing very well than what investors were predicting. And so, you know, their stock took a hit, their company took a hit, and it just was already not looking well for them. And then once the pandemic came around, people were not traveling, so they took even more of a hit. And with so many employees that they have, they're still having to pay them, and no revenue is coming in. they're even slashing their prices to, you know, try to maybe even appeal to some people that might try to like still or have to travel for certain things. This is still a very negative impact for their company, but not just their company, other companies as well. You've seen it with Delta, you've seen it with United. Their stocks are being hit pretty hard. So not only that, but I want to take a time to try to help out your small businesses. That is one thing, like with the stimulus package that's coming out, they are focusing a lot on trying to push towards small businesses, because those are the businesses that, you know, are very close, like they help build communities up, you know. So they are trying to push out the stimulus package to help the small businesses, so that eventually when this is all over, people can go back and still enjoy, you know, their local restaurant or their local bar or, you know, their local bakery, you know, whatever it may be, so that you know, this community can still be together and just rebuilt together. But with that being said, they are taking small businesses are taking a huge hit as well, because they're having to close doors. Thankfully, you know, some of them are still being able to stay open, you know, to go only orders, but still with that, people are not going out as much. People are not spending enough not spending enough money, but they're not spending as much money on going out to these food places, just because, you know, they can't enjoy that, you know, sitting down environment and having to call in to go orders and all of that. So just try to, you know, if at all possible, if people can, invest in local small businesses, or try to help any local small businesses as much as they can, because I know personally, I have friends that they own hotels and they own restaurants or bars, and I know they could be getting hit badly just as much as anybody else. And so I just think it's beneficial for people to try to help others out where they can. These bigger businesses, they'll probably get huge, they can get helped out by the government a lot. They can get helped out like the stimulus bill. So all these things are be very beneficial to them. But these local small businesses are going to be hit fairly hard. I've even heard of dentist offices closing down, because there was one right by my house that just opened up like in January, and then now they just had to close down because of this. Also, to talk more about American Airlines, one of the reasons why they also are taking a huge hit is due to the 737 MAX being grounded by the FAA. This is because, you know, of the series of crashes that have been happening. They had bought several airplanes, several 737 MAXes, and with airline businesses, and maybe more relevant to other people, like the industrial business, such as like, you know, people having, you know, dump trucks, cranes, and people buying those, you know, rent those out to other people for other people to have. It's a lot of upfront cost for those companies to have that equipment. And basically what they do is they buy that equipment, and then over time, you know, that equipment is getting paid off by people that are using it. Well, if they buy all these planes and they're not able to fly people, they're not able to run their business, then they just spent all this money for nothing, and now they are basically in the hole. So that's another reason why not only American Airlines, but other people, I haven't really researched other airlines, just because American Airlines is what I usually fly, so that's why I was looking into them. But that could be another reason why other airlines are getting hit bad. But on a more positive note, let's talk about some companies that have been doing well this week. Caterpillar is up 4.49%. Marathon Oil is up 7.33%. Surprisingly, Nordstrom is up 5.32% after they temporarily closed their stores. That is very shocking to me, especially with them being a more brick and mortar type of place. I guess online sales are doing well for them. Back on the topic on investing in travel companies. So as I was saying before, Warren Buffett has his ideology of investing in buy low, sell high, and also just being able to invest in a company that, you know, is an actual good company that has room for growth, that can actually make a positive impact on the community, and you can see them being around for years to come. With that being said, investing in like cyclical companies such as like hotels, resorts, cruise lines, airlines, all those they're very peak trough cyclical type of companies. And just with that, investing in the market is already risky as it is. With those type of cyclical companies, it just brings a little more risk to your portfolio that you might want to have. So I personally would not invest in those types of companies. I more invest in like tech companies, which I'm pretty sure Warren Buffett does not like to do. But banks, they're always going to be around. They'll just go more online, as you've already seen with iPhones and stuff, and being able to have mobile wallets. Tech companies, their technology is just becoming more and more part of people's lives, and it's just going to only keep growing from there. That's all I have for this video. I hope you guys like and share and subscribe, and I hope you guys come back for the next one.